From curiosity to revenge to straight up terrorism, there are a lot of motives for attackers. Let's take a look.
You're watching IT Pro TV.
Hey, thanks for joining us for CEH V12. I'm your host, Sophie, here with Daniel. We're going to talk today about some of the motives and goals and objectives. Those all kind of seem like they talk about the same thing, but they're different.
Okay, it's
They're kind of tomato.
Right?
Yeah, tomato objective. Anyway, we're going to talk about some of those today because it is important if you're trying to sniff out threats and things. It's probably important to know what's motivating your attackers.
That's right. What's my motivation here?
Right. Yes.
Why am I attacking Delta Airlines? I don't know. I'm not, but there probably is an attacker out there somewhere asking themselves that very question. Mm-hmm. And there's some common ones that we're going to kind of laundry list our way through here. This should be a fairly short episode. This isn't like mind-blowing content, but you do need to kind of understand what are those common reasons why these people do what they do. Let's get a little bit of that. See if we can understand those mindsets a little bit better. Maybe even better prepare ourselves for defense against said attackers. Without further ado, Sophia, what is on top of our hit list?
So I think that probably a reason that's more common than we would think is just curiosity. Just like, hey, can I poke around in here and they end up breaking something or doing something they're not supposed to be doing just because they were curious.
Fun fact, it's the whole reason I got into it was hey, this seems interesting. This whole
probably why you're here.
Tell me more about this hacking of which you speak. Right? That's kind of the impetus behind the whole thing for me. Might even be for you as well. I can see Sophia's little gears turning all the time going, this is actually, I can't, right? That whole thing is a very strong motivator for a lot of people. Us included. This is a fun little club we get to be in. We meet on Thursdays and we'll see you there. Anyway, curiosity is a strong and very common motivator, even if it's the initial motivator, probably a lot of times, and then it's up to us to kind of how that ends up at the end of our story on whether or not we used our powers for good instead of evil. But there's a lot of evil hackers out there that probably very much did start off with just, this is an interesting subject, I want to learn more. And then they went, you mean I can parlay this into like cold hard cash if I just am willing to be an amoral bad person? Sign me up. So curiosity. There you go.
That would be, and I've never done anything illegal, but if I ever happen to do that, that probably would be wise, just because I'd be like, oh, can I do this?
Uh-huh.
But there's another motivator that's a little different.
Your favorite.
And the way that you phrased it was that it's bravado, which I would guess is just like, not only is it like, oh, can I do this? And then once you do it, it's like, look at this thing that I did.
Yes.
Praise me.
Yes.
Appreciate my skills.
I call it the Sophia model.
Yeah. Because every time that I do anything, I'm like, Daniel, look what I did.
She's got a flashing neon sign overhead. Look at me. Look, I'm like, do you really need that much attention? That's probably more on this side of the fence. Anyway, yes, bravado, the look at what I've done, right? So they want those bragging rights. And what's weird about that is that can also, much like curiosity, fall on the side of either good or evil, because good people do stupendous and awesome things all the time. And so do bad people. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've looked at some sort of APT, attack methodology or malware that they've created and procedure that they went through. And I'm like, that is ingenious. I mean, total dirtbag right there. But you got to give them kudos on the smarts there, because that's part of the reason why they do it, is to go, if not for some people, the reason why they do it. They just want to go, I was the one that did that. We think of famous hackers. Why do we know them? And do they spur on more hackers? Absolutely. Or people go, well, I want to be written down in the history books. Let me try to make something awesome or do something crazy, because while it might not be good, it will get attention. And then my name will be associated with it. So I'm doing it.
Another one we've got is trying to halt or just otherwise disrupt some kind of business operation. So like, would that be like maybe denial of service type stuff?
Yeah, like a denial of service attack to just disrupt business. A lot of times this will fall under the purview of like, if I'm a hacker, I'm either some sort of mercenary hacker, or I'm a part of a team of criminals that are disrupting a business that would, dip into my side of things as well. So let's just say you own a department store and you know, or some online storefront, and I'm competing with you in that world. I can hire a hacker and go, I want them not able to do business as well as they do. Make it happen, right? So the hacker goes, all right, I can make that happen. So it might not be them per se, the hacker per se, that it's their motivation to shut down or disrupt your business, but it might be, right? They may think that your business is immoral or that you've angered them in some strange way and now they're coming for you, right? So but their goal might be that's how they get you, is to disrupt your business. A lot of times though, it just comes down to competition, is that one team is hiring hackers to disrupt the business of the other team. And hopefully that money funnels over to them, and no money, at very least, no money funnels into their competition, and they can, you know, haha, laugh, point, Nelson style. Yeah. Who doesn't like that? But yeah, it's just disruption of business.
Okay, so what about I don't know, you call them rebels with a cause, I guess, hacktivists?
Activists, right? I actually just kind of mentioned that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Maybe your business is an affront to their moral person, and you know they want to disrupt your business not because they like disrupting business and watching the world burn, or they have a competition stake in it, but they don't like you. They think you are wrong, and here I come, right? So I'm going to use my skills for a cause. I'm going to hack for a cause, which we do see this anonymous group, right? They love to hack for a cause, and they're well known for it. So there's probably like your prime example that most of us would be familiar with, and just start looking up hacktivisms, you know, or hacktivist groups, and you will probably come up with mostly anonymous, but there are probably other things as well. So yeah, hacktivism, hacking for a cause, man,
Hacking for a cause.
fighting the power,
Yeah, as you do.
as you do.
So would this maybe the next motivation we have is political reasons. So I guess there probably is some overlap in some of these categories where maybe you are by definition, maybe like a hacktivist, but maybe your goal, your motivation, your cause is political in nature.
Yeah, it's so weird. You really bring up a great point, is that it's not as like all these terms that we're gonna go, you know, we're going over here. It's not as black and white as we'd like it to be, but we do our best, right? Because there are nuances that would make it go, oh, well, you're more of a hacktivist than you are a political hacker, right? Or that your goal is political. When we say political, hacktivism would definitely be a part of that, but mostly you would think of like nation states fighting nation states, doing cyber war, right? I'm invested into the bringing down of your way of life because I disagree with this, communism versus capitalism and those kind of things, right? So they're just people that have hated each other for a long time, and they are now political entities, and they hack each other, right? So that's just what's up. So in the political realm, that's what we would typically mean by political motivations, is that we are separated by a great divide in fundamental ways of life, and I want to bring down your governments. Hacktivists would kind of fall into that rubric as well, but that's what we...
And then different side of that coin, I guess, would be maybe like religious hackers or hackers for religious reasons.
Yeah, well, there are theocracies out there, so
Yeah.
that would definitely happen, right? So
Yeah.
if you're a theocracy and fighting another theocracy, you're both political and religious reasons for, you know, fighting each other, which does happen. It is out there. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in, that people hate each other and we are fighting. But it totally would be a motivation for someone. I mean, it motivates people to do a lot other things as well. So why would we leave hacking off the table? We don't.
Yeah. Nothing is off limits.
Nothing.
And nothing is off limits, especially for this next group, cyber terrorists.
The worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst.
Man, you know, in a bushel full of bad apples, the bad apples are going, dang, wow, bro, that's...
Even for
I
me.
mean, yeah, I mean, I'm all about like getting people sent to jail or ruin them economically, but you're talking about killing folks. Because yes, they are. That's what a cyber terrorist, right? So they go after critical infrastructure, power, water, you name it, nuclear, those kind of things, to hopefully hurt people so that they would affect whatever change it is they're trying to affect, or hurt whatever group it is they're trying to hurt. Unfortunately, again, that is just one of those motivators that are out there for some of those folks. And it's something we got to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, it's the world we live in.
It is.
What about revenge?
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know, revenge might sit. I don't know if it goes as far as cyber terrorists. But
Maybe
dang,
not.
They are a close second, aren't they? Because revenge will get you to do some jacked up stuff.
Yeah, when you're seeing red,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
that's you don't know what you're gonna do.
Because now I might not be actually killing you, but I might assassinate you in the
like character assassination.
right character
Yeah.
assassination. Right. I might make people think you are Hitler or something, and no one will do business with you. No one will work with you, and just based off of lies and hacks that I've done. And we have definitely seen these things in the media and whatnot. People get accused of something, and they're like, "It wasn't me." Well, this tweet came from your phone or whatever. I was hacked.
Yeah.
And, right? Look at my phone. I can tell. I was in Barbados at the time. I didn't even have internet access. Somebody hacked my account, and you can, then you got to go DFIR and prove that fact. But it does happen. And when people get angry, what do they say? Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. So be nice to your fellow man and women out there. And don't be nasty, because you never know when you make the wrong person mad. And then they just go, well, I'm a hacker. I do know a lot of people that say they can do those things, but it's all talk.
Yeah.
Don't do
You call that saber rattling?
Yeah,
but
yes.
fake saber rattling?
Yeah, but fake saber.
Like, yeah, I could hack you. I could hack you.
It's like those snakes that look like they're poisonous, but they're not.
Yeah, right. The king snake versus the coral snake or whatever.
Is
Yeah.
he the deadly one? I don't remember. What's the little poem?
Just to be safe. Probably
Yeah.
just try not to.
Unfortunately, people aren't banded.
Yeah,
So
it'd be nice.
Oh,
It would
well,
be
he's
nice.
got a yellow top to his head.
Yeah, see, I don't know what Daniel's capable of. That's why I try to be nice to him most of the time. So the last one we have on this list is just cyber crime, like theft or like ransomware, I guess, might fall under this category.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is probably number one with a bullet, honestly. We save the best for last. This is why people hack, is for the old cashola. People like money, and there's a lot to be had using cyber hacking mechanisms, right? And on what's weird is that's on both ends of the spectrum, right? So you got good and evil, or you got the devil on one side and religious figure on the other that's the head of an organization, whatever. And hackers are on both of those ends. You can make some good money as an ethical hacker, right? This is a lucrative career that you could get into.
Yeah.
So there's money to be made. That can be, but that's not cybercrime.
Yeah.
Cybercrime makes you money, but it's how you do it. That's no bueno, right? So we see that a lot. There's a very powerful and one of the largest, if not the largest, motivator for bad hackers to do what they do is because they about to get paid. They get net cheddar, and they like it. And then you get addicted. I mean, go listen to a Darknet Diaries on these ex-hackers that got caught, and now they're telling their story. And it was always, well, I did something and I didn't get caught, so I did another one and I made some more money. And I was like, all of a sudden, I'm driving a Mercedes. And I'm, ripping off ATMs left and right and that kind of stuff, doing card scams or whatever. And, they get caught up in it, and that money is addictive. So they will go for it. And especially with other countries, I mean, I think North Korea basically it's like their GDP is stolen money.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's up. They rob from banks, and that's how they fund their government and their country.
They're like Robin Hood, except they don't do the second part.
No. They didn't get that far in the movie.
Yeah. They watched the first part. They were like, cool.
He's like, I like what is happening here. Just do that.
Yeah, so a lot of different motivations potentially you might run into when you're looking at these different attackers, and it is important to know thy enemy. So maybe just familiarize yourself with this list from just curiosity, bravado, whatever the reason might be. People have reasons for why they do what they do. Doesn't make it right, but it's good to know. Thanks for joining us for this episode. Stick around. We've got more CEH V12 coming up next.
Thank you for watching IT Pro TV.